Friendship support ambition. If you're my friend, I support your ambition. If I'm your friend, I support your ambition. I've watched a lot of friendships get developed with people based on circumstance, happenstance, trauma. Again, it's always been things where we call it lower vibrational, where it's like it's low hanging fruit. It's easy to become friends off of hardships. And I've done it. I'm not making people feel bad. You should be able to make friendships during hard times. But if you're not able to develop through that friendship after that hard time has passed, then that's when I start questioning the validity of that friendship. Because this is where you start getting friends where one starts to heal. We've talked about this, we have examples of this, and the other has not. And so the one who has not, they can be living their best life on the outside, but on the inside, they're emotionally broken still, right? They haven't been able to heal because this person over here was their energy. They were siphoning off each other. That's how they were learning how to balance who they were through that moment because they used each other's energy to get them back on track versus someone who does it alone and they do that healing work alone and it's really hard and it's not easy, but you come out a more solid person, and that's why it's much easier for people when they say, yeah, I can kick it by myself and not feel bad or do some this and that. We're not saying it was an easy process. They could have been going crazy, crying, throwing things, breaking down, depression, right? But some people, they do that in friendships and then they be like, man, they were there for me when I really needed them. But when you walk away and you sever that tie, that person goes right back to that trauma if you guys are not healing in that relationship together. That's why we say it's better to try to do the healing work alone. And then as you come into your healed state of mind, then you're calling in the other healed people who, yes, they have things in the past that was traumatizing, but it is no longer triggering, right? And so these friendships are healthy because you can talk about trauma, you can talk about happy things and healthy things without either one of you feeling offended. When you're around someone who is still what we call unhealed, it means they are willingly not participating in the process of learning their emotions. They are willingly saying, I don't need to know anything about anybody because no one ever needed to know anything about me. So now they put up these walls, and if you don't agree to the type of control on how they need to be received, like you talk to me this way, you can't do this to me because I'm gonna have this moment. Baby, I am not here to protect your triggers. You need to heal that on your own so that when we're having a conversation, you're not taking it personal or looking at me as if I'm being condescending, right? This is how I had to learn, especially as a person who is an educator and a speaker. Because when you have people around you who don't understand your ambition, who don't understand how your mind works, who don't understand how your heart truly thrives, they're going to look at you as if you think you're better than them or if you're trying to be condescending, which I'm never trying to be. And I hope other people who understand where I'm coming from get that you can't actually be mad at these people, right? I'm a solid person. When I say solid, it means when I meet people, I genuinely want to know them for who they are. When I hang out with people, I genuinely like their energy. When I want to be your friend, that means we have a connection where I feel like I want to kind of protect you a little bit emotionally and spiritually. That's friendship to me. That's how I see friendships going. Other people, they do not. Some people, what I've learned, especially in some old relationships, they only want to be my friend because of my height, because of looks, because of the attention that I got from other people. Again, I always tell people, I am not the best looking person in the room, but I have the confidence and I can carry myself very well. So I'm always going to get the attention I want. So if you have someone getting jealous of that because you know how to carry yourself and now they're starting some weird competition that you had no idea was going on, these are the friendships of trauma. That's bonding because you felt like you both were at this place and point where you were both so low that you were equals. And then when you realize when you go shower off your muck and you come out big and beautiful, they're like, oh, I didn't know you had all that. I only saw the mud. And it's like, yeah, I need my friend to be like, you know what? Let me go wash my mud off and see who I am. I would love to see who I am under all this mud. And they can be like, wow, I'm amazing. I'm beautiful. But you know what some people do? They throw mud at you. Ugh, you ain't that smart. Oh, okay. Go write your little book. Oh, okay. You're gonna be a star. Oh, okay. These are the types of energies that I've paid attention to along this journey that I've been taking of being an entrepreneur, right? I never believed it as a kid when they're like, So many celebrities have said it, and other people have too, but celebrities, that's how we grow up, watching TV, watching what they say. And again, love them, but they're so broken. So that's where I had to understand, like, who I was when I went out into the world and I was trying to make friends and understand, like, hey, I love to share things about creative space and I love to share things about spirituality. I wonder who else loves this stuff. And I'd meet people thinking they were into it and they weren't. And then later on down the line, they were mad hating on me because they were like, oh, he thinks he knows everything. Da, da, da. And it's so disheartening to find out later on that someone you gave so much genuine love and empathy to and loyalty to was talking about you behind your back or putting you down or laughing at you or laughing at the things you do because they're too afraid to do it themselves. This is where I say, if I was ever a friend of yours and we are no longer friends, you better believe it was because I was watching and peeping game the whole time. I watched those eye rolls. I watched that smack in the mouth too many times. I watched the okay, that hippie dippy stuff you're into, right? That spiritual stuff. If someone is talking about a passion or ambition of yours and they put stuff on the end, instantly I know that you are not a real friend. Other people have ways of determining that is my barometer. Because for me, not once have I stopped and thought about a friend and was like, they're lame, they can't do it. That's not my heart. I genuinely tell people, I can be as sassy as I want to be. My love in my heart is so pure that I find ways to empathize with people so that I can understand where they're coming from, even if they're the most nastiest, meanest person. Because I have to understand, what is it in their soul that's holding them captive, that they're creating a jail around this human avatar who doesn't know how to express their real needs. So instead, they're finding trauma bonds of people who are shallow and hollow to fill them up, right? Shallow, hollow people can't fill you up. You guys have nothing to give. So you go to solid people and try to drain them. And when they decide to put up barriers and boundaries, oh, now they're the problem, right? I have no problem speaking my truth. Love is not weak. Love simply says, I can only carry myself so far and carry you along the journey. I am not about to carry you the entire journey because as babies, we grow. We learn to walk, right? We scoot along, we crawl, we walk, and we go. This is spiritually the same thing that happens for adults. It's emotionally the same thing that happens for adults, but most adults and people got stopped at the crawling phase of their spiritual journey. They don't listen to their emotions. Spirituality is emotions, right? To feel something and to be driven by it, to be motivated by it, to be triggered by it, to be anything by it is a spiritual connection because it's sensory. Something through this atmosphere is connecting to us and telling us what we agree with, what we don't agree with, and how we feel about it. And you say, why? So, if there are friendships who don't support ambition, if there are friendships who don't support who you're becoming as you're growing and learning on this earth, and they want to stay stuck and stagnant, let them. It is not your journey to carry them along. Because the one thing that I know for sure in all my connections is I've always spoke truth and love into every connection I've had. Can't nobody ever come back and say I spoke ill will into them. I only ever spoke love into them. And if they weren't able to receive it, digest it, comprehend it, then there's no point in me being there anymore, right? Because at that point, it's like you're repellent to what I have to give, and anything I pour is just gonna roll off you. I need friendships who require the understanding and connection that I require is to know that when we are in this, we're in it because we want to be, not because we have to be. Loyalty to me is about connection and respecting the growth of that connection and continually investing in the growth of that connection. Once the growth stops, so does the connection. Love ya.